Hello, my name is Tristan Adderback, and Happy New Year to you all. I apologize for the wait in these videos, but it has been a while. But I have some exciting news, everyone. I have an Oh My t-shirt for sale now. Smalls will be going for about $2. And there's nothing on the back. I might write Scandal on there later. But $2 for smalls, and I think $3 for larges. If somebody could supply me with some smalls and some larges, perhaps that would be interesting. Anyway, I wanted to make this video on the eve of back to school. Back to school eve, if you want to call it that. Anyway, I wanted to make this video in hopes of really analyzing plots and characters. So let's start off. The other night I was looking through some old stuff and found a list of ideas from my friends in chemistry, whom I cannot remember the names of right now, which is very embarrassing, but I'm sure I will remember it later. Anyway, I found that list and I was starting to read, and then there were none. A Murder Mystery by Agatha Christie. For all my Feta fam, you all know what that is. Anyway, I was reading through it and was just thinking about what a horrible villain Justice Wargrave is. That's the antagonist in the story. And then it hit me. I need to make a video about what makes him such a good villain. What makes not just Justice Wargrave, but what makes a good villain. So this video is dedicated to the analyzation of what do's and don'ts are in villains. So let's start off with what makes a good villain. And I came up with this list last night because this was kind of a spur of the moment idea. But basically what I look for in a villain is somebody who is intriguing. And by which I mean they have to be good looking, possibly sexy. This is not my word, this is my sister's word. I did discuss this with her a little bit, but she chose that word over good looking, which, okay, I guess. Anyway, I also wrote that a good villain has charisma. And if you don't know what that means, they are sly with their words. They're very quick and witty. I also think that good villains have a good mask. And what I mean by that is that they're able to hide who they are until it's revealed that they're the villain. They're able to put on this mask which hides their true feelings from the world. And I think that really makes a good villain. What I don't like in villains are monologues. I think they're quite stereotypical and I don't like them. Because usually during a monologue, the villain will get tricked by the protagonist and then it will be game over for the villain. I don't like that. I think it's stereotypical. So, I think... Sorry, excuse me. I'm gonna find my eraser. So, number one, villains should be good looking. Number two, they should have charisma, or the ability to mask their feelings. And number three, there should be no monologue. Like, I get it, you want to tell us everything you did, how you did it. It's really intriguing. But don't do it when, I don't know, the protagonist, you leave prematurely, and it doesn't work. So I think, in my opinion, what really makes a good villain is that you subvert expectation. Now, there are two ways to subvert expectation. There's a good way, and there's a bad way. Let's take a good example. Thanos. We expect him to be sociopathic, doesn't care about anything but his own personal needs. But then he shows some remorse and loss and has these emotions and feelings, and then we realize that he's more human than we take him out to be. Sure, he's an alien, he's a titan, but he's relatable. And I think that's what really subverts expectations very well. Because the villain is supposed to be, oh, he doesn't care about anybody but himself, he's only out for himself. Or he or she, sorry, I do not want to discriminate against the lady villains. Although I do like a good lady villain. That's very nice. Because going back to the sexy part, if the woman is, it tricks the men into trusting her and then she backstabs them. So I think that's very intriguing. But who knows? I may be wrong. Anyway, I digress. Let's move on. And what makes a bad, what subverts expectations badly? Let's take Snoke, for example. If you don't know who Snoke is, he is from Star Wars, The Last Jedi, which in itself is one of the worst Star Wars movies I have ever seen in my life. Some parts of it was good, some parts of it made me want to throw up my entire intestines. I digress. Anyway, in this less than average movie, our protagonist, Rey, devolves and... Oh, wait. I just realized I might be giving spoilers. If you haven't seen the movie, I would suggest you skip. I might have the text in here in which you can skip forward. But basically, let me continue. What makes this villain not so good is that his presence in the first movie is very powerful. He's this tall figure, he's mysterious, he's somewhat creepy in the way that he presents himself, and he's a big talker like Emperor Palpatine. But then when we get to the second movie, he has some powerful lines, and then it's immediately ruined by his death due to Kylo Ren, which in itself is incredible. I think that in the first movie that they subverted expectations quite severely. One being the whole plot of the movie. Finn changes from a bad person to a brilliant person, one of the best people in the Resistance. And they also killed off Han Solo. Still salty about that part. I'm very salty about that. Anyway, moving on. Yes, but what makes this a bad villain is that you expect him to be evil, whatever. You expect him to last until the end and whatnot. But Emperor Palpatine was so much better than him because he didn't get killed by his own, adolescent, apprentice who looks like he could be 18. No offense to the actor who plays Kylo Ren. Anyway, moving on. Adam Driver. That's the person who plays Kylo Ren. Yes, no offense to him. Anyway, that's how you don't do a good villain. Oh, and also another example of a good villain, and I'm going to use a Disney example, is from Frozen and Han. Now, what makes him not, so this is the category of twist villains. I'm sorry, I am ranting and don't give a clear example of where the conversation is going. So, yes, this is about twist villains. So he's not a good twist villain. And why he's not a good twist villain is because it's never doubted that he does anything wrong. You see, what makes a good twist villain is that there's something just a little bit off about him. There's just a little bit of antagonization. It's a little too much to be true. But the thing is, we see him the entire movie, and he does nothing that's wrong. He actually does more good than anything else in this movie. While Elsa and Anna are having their sister moment, he's taking care of Arendelle. He's taking care of people. He's nurturing them. He's doing everything you would expect from a really good guy. But then he becomes a villain. And he leaves prematurely because of the monologue, which I hate monologues. Oh my gosh. Anyway, I digress. So, what makes him a bad villain is that it just seems that his villainy comes out of nowhere. Now, that's good. I like how they twisted Han in such a way that he seems so nice that it's like shocking that he would be the villain. But whatever, they decided to do it. And I don't like it because it's not even subtle. You know, even twist villains have that subtle thing about them that are like, something just off. There's something off about it. It doesn't smell right. Like, let me give you a good example. Toy Story 3, the purple bear, Lando, that's his name. Anyway, he's a good twist villain because there's just something off about it. And I also think what really helps you doubt the character is if the protagonist himself has doubts. And why it doesn't work in Frozen is that Elsa has doubts about the man. But it doesn't work because she herself is a doubter. She doubts everyone she meets. She doesn't like them. She's antagonistic towards everyone. So it doesn't work in that sense. But if Anna, the person who loves Han, is doubtful of the relationship, then it makes it much more sinister. If the protagonist who likes and cares about everyone else says that she has doubts, but not the one who is antagonistic towards others, it's much more powerful. It has more impact on the story. But either way, I digress. And then what makes Lando such a good villain is that Woody has the doubts. And Woody is somebody who we can trust. We trust him, we respect him. He's pretty much the main protagonist of the story. Everything is pretty much centered around him. And he has doubts about him, which is very good because then it makes him seem ridiculous. Like, come on, Woody. But then also at the same time you're like, we should keep an eye on this Lando figure. So that's what makes a good villain. And thank you very much for watching. I apologize for the length of this video. But either way, I wanted to have a bit of a rant about what I think makes a good villain. And make sure to like and comment in the section below. If you have a differing opinion, I would very much like you to say it. Please do not hesitate. Leave your opinion down below, unless of course it is hurtful, and then I will not listen to your opinion. So thank you very much for watching, and you all have a wonderful day. Goodbye.